Hey friends, spring is in the air. Sounds like time for a little treat, right? See you in just a minute. Of course it's trickery. So, I just thought I would share with you a couple things. First of all, I'm sure you're seeing it on other channels, so I thought I'd try and do a little something different. But it's spring, and for those of you who use the Keto Chow meal replacement shakes, a lot of their seasonal flavors for springtime are coming back in stock. So we've got key lime, root beer float, there you go, that looks better, orange cream, pina colada, orange mango, and guava grapefruit. Now, today I'm going to make us a key lime fat bomb, and full disclosure, this recipe is very heavily based on Two Crazy Ketos Joe's chocolate cream pie recipe with a couple adjustments. A, I'm not making a crust, we're making fat bombs, and B, I don't have the sweetener in there, so you'd be fully aware that if you like things to be sweet, you'll want to adjust this recipe and add sweetener to it. After I get this mixed and before we go away to let it set in the freezer, I'm going to give you some ideas for some of these other flavors as well, but for the moment, let's set them aside. And let me tell you what I've got here. 1 brick of 8-ounce cream cheese that I let get soft, and then I beat the bejesus out of it. You might want to use a whip. Maybe a hand whip or mixer, or even throw it in your KitchenAid. Whip it and make sure it is good and soft and lightly fluffy. Then I have 8 ounces of mascarpone cheese. We've talked about that on a Cheese Friday. You know it, you love it, it's delicious. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take this mascarpone and plop it right in there with our cream cheese. Put that away. As per usual, we like to straighten up a little bit while we go. We're going to mix these two together so that we've got our nice soft cheesy mixture. And this would be a good place to add your sweetener if you want to. That's up to you. If you're going to use sweetener, I would start with maybe a little allulose and then maybe a drop or two of the liquid extract sweetener of your choice, whether that be a monk fruit or a sucralose or a stevia. Your preference on sweetness. I don't need it, so I don't put it in here. Alright, we've got it good and mixed in. And then now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to, and admittedly a hand mixer is probably easier on your hands, but I'm going to rip this over and spill some here and there as I tear it. Or we're going to be very lucky and look, no powder spill. You know that whenever you open anything that has a powder or chips or whatever, if you are a social awkward geeky nerd like me, often that's where spills happen. And today we lucked out. We rolled a natural 20, guys. So that's nerd humor if you didn't know from RPGs. When you roll a natural 20, it's the best roll you can have. Just so you know. Throw some nerd facts. Anyways, I dumped my whole package here. 1 serving of Keto Chow. So you betcha. So ketogenically optimized nutrition in the replacement meal shake. Even though we're not having the whole thing because you would probably explode from being full. So that, and of course very high fat because mascarpone and also the cream cheese are fat. And let me tell you, I know I can't mix this in, it's too dry. We'll get there though, because the next ingredient is going to take care of that for us. It is going to be somewhat of a thicker, so to speak, but It smells fun. It smells nice. I love the way the key lime smells. And as you can tell, it kind of gets almost a cheesecakey flavor. So this is great. It's a flexible. I'm making fat bombs. But you absolutely could take this and make Two Crazy Keto's coconut flour pie crust, which is one of my favorite crusts of all time. And put this in there and make it like a no-bake cheesecake. You could make a ground nut crust in the bottom and make it a no-bake cheesecake. You could do whatever you want with these. You could even just pipe it into some bowls or scoop it into bowls and just have some cheesecakey filling. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is get a knife here to scrape my ingredients down off my spatula. I know it seems very fussy, but really it's because I'm kind of an awkward cook. But you can also see at the same time it's really not all that hard. Just get that last little bit mixed in. There we go. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're not going to worry about the fact that I've got my pan here and I'm going to set my knife on it. I have 1 cup of heavy cream that I have whipped. Dyson's in favor of whipped cream. He doesn't get any, but I'm sure he's in favor of it. But you whip it. That's another place where if you want to sweeten things up, you can do that here. Add a little bit of that if you want. Add a little bit of lime zest, which I would totally do, but I was out of limes. How did that happen? I was out of lime, so there's no lime zest. You could throw in a little bit of key lime extract if you want, or a little bit of a lemon oil if you want. It's all very flexible. But I'm going with very simple. 1 cup of heavy cream and whip it up. And done. Right? And then we just sort of mix it in. And that whipped cream is going to add a little bit of lightness because it's heavy cream, of course. My hand got dirty. That's why we have paper towels in the kitchen, right? But it adds the necessary moisture to bring this into our scoopable batter. It takes a minute, and absolutely you can do this with a mixer. I'm just one of those weirdos that uses the spatulas for no particular reason. Sometimes it's because I don't like the noise, but today it was just because why not? We're talking anyways, right? So anyways, this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to continue. It takes a minute to get it all incorporated, but you'll see it's going to have that nice little fluffy shade of green in our little cheesecake fat bomb keto chow key lime fun. And just so you know, you can use any flavor in this if you want. You want to use chocolate, but it's spring, so we want spring flavors. The guava grapefruit would be amazing in these fat bombs, as would the orange cream. The orange cream would be totally awesome. What is it that the kids are saying these days? I know, the kids these days. Bussin'? Is that the word? I think so. It's so weird. It's a weird word to me. See? Dyson said don't say that. You're too old for those words. So, okay, we'll abide. Hey, we don't need your commentary. Just come here. I don't know why I said just come here, because if he does, then he thinks I'm going to give him something, and I never do. So he's just always full of disappointment. But here we go. So I've got this all nicely mixed in. Well, 90%, let's say. 95% now. Let me get my spatula cleaned off, and we'll give it one last turn. The nice thing is they don't got to be perfect. You just want to make sure all your powder is mixed in so you don't have a weird powder clump. That's what would be unpleasant. So, one last turn. If you are making this as a pie filling, you may want to add a little more whipped cream to thin it down, or even warm up your mascarpone just a little more. Oh, I said it wrong. Mascarpone. The Italians are very angry with me right now. But, alright, here we go. Let me give this a scrape. Alright. And then I'm just going to push this together so you can get a look at it, even though the bowl is kind of messy, because while we're stirring things, that's what happens. I think it's weird when they show you stuff and like they pause in the video and then like clean the bowl all up so that it doesn't look like you did like any actual stirring in there. Like, I think people know you stirred your ingredients. So we're just gonna go as is. All right, all set. Let me get another paper towel here, just set my stuff on in case we need to do any more stirring. But check it out. It's as easy as this. Now I've got my little scoop. It's my small scoop. We scoop it out here on the parchment until you run out of batter or you run out of space on your paper. If you run out of space on the paper and you still have batter, throw your batter into a cup, toss it in the fridge, and then you have a little cheesecake cup, because it's entirely edible now. They're a little too soft to eat the balls. I know you're thinking it. I was. So, you know, is what it is. We're just very well conditioned in our keto community, aren't we? So, I am going to continue scooping these. And you can see they come out in these cute little fluffy green balls. And so they'll just be like 2 bites of your high-fat, lovely flavored Keto Chow cheesecake bombs. And after this, what's going to happen is I am going to stick this into my deep freeze, which I can't show you on the camera because it's all the way in my garage. But I'm going to set it in there and come back in like 2.5 to 3 hours and show you our cute cheesecake bombs. That's right, we freeze them. That's why they're a nice springtime, summer refreshing treat. No muss, no fuss. We like springtime, summer refreshing treats, right? Oh, that came off. We'll put it on that one since it was a little smaller. And like I said, we've got a little bit of leftover batter. That's why we saved our spatula. Grab me a little bowl. And just like I said, that's why we saved our spatula instead of putting it immediately into the dirty dishes. We scoop that off, and now I've got myself a little no-bake cheesecake that I'm going to eat right after we turn off the camera while I wait for this to freeze. In fact, I will do the right thing for you all, and we'll go ahead and dig out my spoon. We'll get a dessert spoon. Let's just taste it so I can tell you about it. Delightful. Okay, one more bite, I swear, and then I'll stop. I am certain that that is plenty sweet and you do not need more sweetener. But, again, your preference. So, I'll be back in a couple hours and I'll show you how these come out of the freezer. Hey everyone, so we're back and we have our frozen little lovely cheesecakey fat bombs. So, all we're going to do now is we'll take one. You can hear it's frozen. So, and I'm just going to get a container to throw the rest of them in. Grab my lid, because that's all we have to do is we're going to take these and we will plop them back in the freezer, and as we desire, you pop one out and enjoy. They're often great at the end of a meal. So, you know, we're not huge advocates of between meal snacking, but you know, sometimes, or if you do like heavy exercise, you need a little extra fuel, or you've burned off your fuel and you need something, and these just really fit the bill nicely. And this just goes into the fridge. You can pull them out as needed, or into the freezer rather. You put them back so they stay frozen. And that is all there is to these Keto Chow cream cheesy mascarpone lovely cheesecakey fat bombs. And just so you know, I did enter everything into Chronometer for the fat bomb. It's 2.7 grams of protein, 0.8 gram carbs, and 11.7 grams of fat. So if you are doing high fat, then these are perfect. And how are they? They are super rich. They're hard because they're frozen. If you want to let them sit for 10-15 minutes, I just cut right into them with my teeth, and they melt, and it is very, very, very creamy. So it is delightful. I really love them, and I hope you do too. But if not, feel free to just make this into fluff and keep it in the fridge and then scoop it that way and eat it with a spoon. Oh, and evidence. I didn't eat that whole little bowl. It's still right here. So, I hope that you are having an amazing, wonderful day, and I hope that if you like these springtime flavors from Keto Chow, that you get to indulge and order a few of them. And I hope that you are having an awesome day and that it is lovely outside where you are, and you get to enjoy some of that awesome, wonderful vitamin D. And if not, at least you've got some nice fat so that you can go and work out in your basement or in your living room, whatever you want to do. So I'll catch you all later. I know that you are awesome, and we will catch you pretty soon, probably on the Sunday night live stream. And that's it. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Oh, whoops. I said that while these were freezing, or before I went and put them in the freezer, I was going to tell you other things you could do with these summertime things besides shakes, and I completely forgot. So here we go. Chris Bear, one of the owners of Keto Chow, makes an amazing root beer float marshmallow. So there is a recipe you look up on ketochow.xyz. Orange cream makes an awesome ice cream or popsicle. The pina colada, they have on the ketochow.xyz a recipe for a pina colada pound cake that was created by one of their customers. And just so you know, I think it's really fantastic as a cake, but I actually like to take it and pipe the dough batter into little donut molds. Then I can take the little donuts with me on my bike rides in my coat, in my little jersey pocket, and freaking delightful. The orange mango is fantastic if you blend it up with some ice and make it into like a frosty. And the guava grapefruit, I'll be honest, it is just spectacular as a Ninja Creamy ice cream. It's just really good, and the other place that it fits in is, I'm sorry, but it is one of the best flavors for this, especially if you add a little of the orange zest. Even though it's not orange flavored and it's guava grapefruit, the orange zest like really super makes it pop. So there you go, all of the fun things you can do, and of course they are all delicious as just plain old shakes. They are delicious as hot cereal. There's a recipe on the Keto Chow website for hot cereal, and they are all really good, again, in these cheesecake bites. So go on it. Now I'm really done. I'm back. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to clean up my kitchen, eat my little fat bomb, and be out of your hair for a couple days. Hope that you are having an amazing one. Bye bye.